Hey, the YouTube Lucas String here. Now, I know it's a little late, but I'm still going to do it anyway. I'm going to talk to you guys about this week's Monday Night Raw. I enjoyed this Raw. I thought it was a pretty good Raw. I thought it was better than last week's Raw by a little bit, and I think it had a lot more better matches, and I thought it had much more tension with the Daniel Bryan and Orton rivalry, along with the Corporation, which it was all Triple H tonight. There was no Vince, there was no Stephanie. It was just Triple H tonight, and oh my God, did he do good! And it started out with Triple H cutting a promo, and Triple H is doing a very good job as the heel corporate, and then Orton came out, and then Triple H presented him a new Cadillac and brought him a new car. So I'm like, okay, Daniel Bryan's going to destroy it by the end of the show. And then Daniel Bryan comes out and he completely disses them all. He called Daniel Bryan called Triple H a corporate sellout. Like, he just called him a sellout with a suit, which is completely true. And then he was still talking about Twinkle Toes Orton. He keeps on thinking of more names, and it's freaking hilarious. With more of that, Orton's gonna be more and more hated every week, which he definitely was booed a lot more than he was on SmackDown. Which at first they were all cheering for some random reason. I was like, this crowd's gonna cheer for everyone. That turned out not to be the case. They later on were booing the crap out of Orton and Triple H. And oh my God, this one part in Triple H's promo right after Daniel Bryan was talking about his speech and how he worked his ass off to get here, and how he beat John Cena fair and square, and he thanked John Cena for the match and let him get the opportunity and stuff like he did last week. And then oh my God, Triple H just said, "Oh, what a sweet story, Jiminy Cricket." And then he's saying, "When you wish upon a star." It was hilarious, and it was such a good heel promo. This whole corporation rivalry, I am really digging. And of course, they had the Shield like step in front of the ring just in case Daniel Bryan tried to attack him. And I kind of like the way that they're using the Shield and kind of don't, how they're on the corporation side, but also they're trying to make the Shield look like pansies. It kind of seems like that, doesn't it? They just trying to make the Shield look a lot more weak than they actually are. You gotta remember, they were undefeated for months, since like December. Then they got undefeated in like June or July. That says something. It was pretty cool. Then afterward, Triple H announced a gauntlet match so Daniel Bryan can prove that he's got what it takes. He's like, "I believe in opportunity. I believe in you, Daniel." It was such a cool heel promo. Then he announced Daniel Bryan versus The Shield in a gauntlet match. First it'd be Seth Rollins, then it'd be Dean Ambrose, and then it'd be Roman Reigns. And right then I figured, okay, he's got to beat the first two. Then Roman Reigns is just going to spear him. So that's all Roman Reigns ever does. Then afterward, there was a singles competition, which was Cody Rhodes versus Fandango, with Damian Sandow on commentary. Now, this match was stupid. What else would you expect? Because then, afterward you heard Fandango's music, then The Miz came out dressed up as Fandango, which was so stupid, when he was also along with Rosa Mendes. It was so dumb. And then Cody Rhodes won. And then afterward, Rhodes hit Fandango with a crossroads where he was about to, then Damian Sandow attacked him, then The Miz was helping out. And then Brad Maddox came out, which I was thinking it was going to be Teddy Long because it was announcing a tag team match. And they announced a tag team match, Cody Rhodes and The Miz versus Damian Sandow and Fandango. The match was also stupid. Fandango just walked out, and because Fandango was awesome at that type of stuff. And then, of course, Miz pinned Sandow with the skull-crushing finale. And then, of course, Fandango just had to say right before he left, "It's Fandango!" There's no point in that. Then afterward, I thought this was going to be like one of the main events of Raw, but then it turned out not to. CM Punk versus Curtis Axel, and there was a vote on the WWE app. What stipulation would be? Either Paul Heyman at ringside, Paul Heyman as special guest referee, or if Punk wins, Heyman has to step in the ring with Punk. And of course, it was C. Paul Heyman had to step in the ring with Punk. And so, CM Punk ended up winning in a pretty decent match. It was pretty good. And then Paul Heyman was trying to walk away, and the referees pushed him in, and security got him. And of course, he stepped in the ring, and there he got him he just grabbed his face and shoved him to the corner of the ring. And then Curtis Axel gave him a low blow, which we expected. And then and this was very vicious. This was a very vicious part of Raw, I thought. Then they put CM Punk in handcuffs, and Punk was just laying there, just in pain. And Paul Heyman was screaming at him, screaming, "I loved you, you betrayed me." And then still CM Punk got up, kicked Curtis Axel on the side of the head and started kicking at Paul Heyman. And then Curtis Axel came back with a steel chair, and then he grabbed a kendo stick and then he gave the kendo stick to Paul Heyman. And he kept whacking him with the kendo stick, and it was pretty vicious. Because kendo sticks, they hurt like hell, and that was brutal. It was brutal, and it was such a great moment. I think they're doing this really. I think the CM Punk and Paul Heyman rivalry is really, really good. Then afterward, there was a stupid Divas match. Brie Bella versus Natalya. And Brie Bella won, which I really didn't care. And then, this is when it gets awesome. AJ Lee dropped the biggest pipe bomb that I've heard from any diva in the WWE. Holy crap, that promo was awesome. She completely bashed on Total Divas. She bashed on it. She was talking about, I didn't get here because I was cute, or how I was related to a famous superstar. I got here because I'm good. And I like this style of AJ. I really didn't like the Psycho gimmick. I hope they're wearing that off. And they're just showing how AJ really is reacting in a heel type way, and I loved it. One of the best promos I've seen all year. And it was from a diva. Who knew? Oh my god, that promo was awesome. That AJ Lee pipe bomb was great. I loved them bashing on the current divas and the Total Divas crap. Oh my god, it was awesome. Afterward, there was a non-title match. Alberto Del Rio versus Rob Van Dam. And then Ricardo Rodriguez was along at ringside, which Rob Van Dam doesn't even look like he wants Ricardo there because there's no point. There's no fucking point. Then of course Ricardo was distracting, and then it led to RVD pinning Alberto Del Rio, which led them having a match at Night Champions now. So it's gotta be Alberto Del Rio versus RVD. I predicted it. And after that, and next match of the night, and the best match of the night, was Randy Orton versus Christian. Wow, that was a good match. Wasn't a 5-star match like their match at SummerSlam, because that match was freaking awesome. This was like a good 4-star match. I thought it was a very good match. They do have very good chemistry in the ring. It was a good back and forth match, and of course it ended up to Randy Orton winning by the RKO, which Christian did a lot of good stuff too. He got some good high flying moves. He got the spear, and then of course Randy Orton had to hit the RKO and win to get more heel advantage. And while Orton was celebrating, you saw Daniel Bryan in the back, right behind Randy Orton's Corvette or Cadillac. I forget. It was a Cadillac. Sorry. And then he turns around and he spray painted "yes" all over the car. And oh my god, it was funny as hell. Randy Orton is not good with cars. RKO'd Wade Barrett on a car. Kofi Kingston wrecked his race car that had Orton's face on the front. And now the "yes" all over Randy Orton's car. It was really, really funny. It was a good, funny Raw moment. And it was a good way to start more of a feud between them. Because this rivalry, I'm digging big time. It was a great rivalry. Then they showed a backstage segment with not Paul Heyman, Randy Orton, Triple H, and Brad Maddox. And so then with the gauntlet match, Triple H said, have every superstar in the locker room get out there and have to be forced to watch. If they look away or try to interfere, they'll get fired. Wow, Triple H is actually doing a very good job as a heel right now. Then afterward, it was Titus O'Neil versus Jack Swagger. And the Primetime Players, they're officially a face. They're definitely officially faces now. They're getting big reactions from the crowd. They're interacting with the crowd, high-fiving the crowd, and they're faces now. And then Titus O'Neil beat Jack Swagger. And so it was a decent technical match. I like both Titus and Jack Swagger. It was a decent Raw match. And then afterward, there was a backstage segment between not Paul Heyman, God, why do I keep saying that? CM Punk and Brad Maddox. And Brad Maddox told Punk that he'll have a match at Night of Champions, CM Punk versus Curtis Axel, and Paul Heyman in an elimination tag match. What? What? That's so dumb. That's so dumb. It's called Night of Champions. So that means Curtis Axel will have to compete twice in the same night. Just have CM Punk versus Paul Heyman. That'd be funny. It'd be cool. And that Curtis Axel will get other singles competition. It's dumb. That was stupid. I was very angry with that. But it'll seem like it'll be funny, but I still think it should be CM Punk versus Paul Heyman. It might get changed later on, but who knows. Or if CM Punk wins, he could get the Intercontinental title. Maybe that will be a reason. I don't know. Then afterward, it was, you showed that every superstar in the locker room was out in the ramp. And then Renee Young, I hate her so much, was interviewing everyone. And of course, they wouldn't respond because they didn't want to get fired. But Big Show Cody has a freaking ironclad contract. Do you want us to think we forgot that? You guys are dumb. And then Daniel Bryan for Seth Rollins was the longest one. And then it went to Dean Ambrose. And then it quit. Then Roman Reigns interfered, so Daniel Bryan won by DQ. And then it never really got to finish with Roman Reigns. Because all he did was punch and then a spear. All Roman Reigns does! Jesus! It pisses me off. And then they hit a triple power bomb on Daniel Bryan. And then, of course, Triple H and Randy Orton came out in their heel style fashion. And Orton just walked in, hit Daniel Bryan with an RKO to close the show. And oh my god, Big Show looked angry as hell. I literally thought he was going to KO punch Orton or KO punch Triple H. Because he has an ironclad contract. Jeez, oh Pete. It was stupid. But overall, I enjoyed this week's Raw. I thought it was very, very good. I like the tension it's bringing with this Daniel Bryan and Orton and Triple H rivalry. I'm really excited about that rivalry. And the Randy Orton versus Christian match was awesome. And the ending segment I thought was really, really cool. So overall, I'm going to give this week's Raw a B or a B minus. Probably the top of a B minus. So that's my review of this week's Raw, guys. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm Lucas Stringer. I'll see you guys later.